okay.
Yes, begin, bone bag!
Hunting season opens this summer.
Tonight, we're marking the 30th anniversary of Casper, the 1995 family classic directed by Brad Silberling, produced by Steven Spielberg, and featuring a surprisingly star-studded cast, especially when you count all the cameos. The story follows a ghost therapist and his daughter who move into a crumbling mansion to cleanse it of mischievous spirits, only to meet one very kind ghost instead. Bill Pullman plays the therapist, and Christina Ricci, the 90s reigning goth queen thanks to the Addams Family, plays his daughter. I actually got to see Casper on the big screen for the very first time this week thanks to its theatrical re-release. My wife and I went, and we brought along our best friend, who had somehow never seen it before. Watching his reactions was honestly half the fun. Now, Casper isn't a perfect film, it's not high art, but it's one of those deeply nostalgic 90s family movies that still feels like comfort food. When I was a kid, though, I wasn't allowed to see it. Growing up as a Jehovah's Witness meant no ghost stories, no spirits, nothing supernatural. So even though it was rated PG, it was off limits. But you want to watch something you can't. That's a special kind of nostalgia on its own. I used to see that trailer on every VHS tape, that blue-tinted mansion on every poster, and I'd think, one day, I'm watching that. It's funny how being told no only makes the interest grow stronger. If you haven't seen Casper, fair warning, I'll be mentioning a few spoilers. It's a light-hearted, family-friendly film, not a masterpiece, but it's still absolutely worth revisiting around Halloween. I saw it at a small local theater, not a modern chain with fancy recliners, just an old-school setup with fabric seats, the faint smell of stale popcorn, and carpeting that's seen better days. Honestly, it felt like stepping back into 1995. Having watched this film 3 or 4 times now, what stood out this time is how surprisingly adult some of it is for a PG kids movie. Characters smoke, the villains curse, Bill Pullman's character literally gets drunk and dies, and it's still considered family viewing. Compare that to today, where a single curse word earns you a PG-13 rating. And those cameos? Unreal. Watching my friend's face when Dan Aykroyd shows up in full Ghostbusters gear was priceless. Then Clint Eastwood. Rodney Dangerfield. Mel Gibson. It's wild. Add to that a heartfelt James Horner score and cinematography by the legendary Dean Cundey, the film had serious talent behind it. Sure, the CGI hasn't exactly aged gracefully, but that's part of its charm. Casper was one of the first movies to feature a fully CGI character. People worked their hearts out to make that happen. I never criticize older movies for their visual effects, it's a product of its time. That dated look actually grounds it in its era. And honestly, even with today's hyper-realistic CGI, something about the overly smooth perfection can feel less real. There's an authenticity to Casper's blend of film grain, real sets, and early computer animation. It still feels like a movie. Bill Pullman is also a treat here. Most people remember him as the tough, heroic type from Independence Day, but here, and in Zero Effect, you really see his emotional range. The ending, with his wife's spirit descending like an angel, may come off a little cheesy by today's standards, but that was part of the 90s magic. Movies weren't afraid to be sincere back then. These days, we tend to mock emotion, everything has to be ironic or self-aware, but I miss when a line like, "Can I keep you?" could be delivered with pure, innocent earnestness. And that's why Casper still hits for me. I am the exact target audience for this kind of movie, 90s kids stories with ghosts, monsters, or any touch of the supernatural. Goosebumps, Eerie, Indiana, Are You Afraid of the Dark, Jumanji, all of it. These films just feel warm and nostalgic. So happy 30th anniversary to Casper. It may not be cinema perfection, but it's heartfelt, entertaining, and a true time capsule of its era. Watching it again with my wife and best friend this Halloween season was such a joy. If you haven't revisited it lately, throw it on during your Halloween party. It's the perfect background movie for spooky season. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the 13th annual Halloween special, and don't forget to celebrate Halloween on October 31st. It's been surreal walking into a cinema tonight, seeing Casper on the screen, and passing my own poster in the lobby. Thank you again for being part of this journey, and as always, there's a lot more to come soon.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.